live and direct from the 1-6. Ooh,
The foxhole.
yeah. I was actually trying to think about I don't remember the date because I think it had to have been early March of last year.
Yeah.
Or mid-March, the last time you were down here when we had this set up over that way. And contrary to what I wanted, I was thinking like, man, it'd just be easy to set that all up. And then I was like, I haven't turned that laptop on in a year. Actually, that's probably the last time I turned that laptop on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know how it's going to act. I don't know how it's going to... I have enough trouble with my super mega computer. So, Bard stole this from work.
Nice.
Well, didn't steal it, just...
Yeah, Bard.
I told him I'll bring it back. Yeah, man.
I'm using it for a project.
What do you think? I had to throw up this National Soccer Hall of Fame banner pennant to make it look official.
I genuinely feel like I'm being interrogated.
That's
good.
For a crime I didn't commit.
That's good.
Right.
You guys are just like staring me down, and it's got like a slight fisheye to it. So I feel like somebody is pushing the detective lamp into my eyeballs, just waiting to conjure something out of me that I don't think I did, but I'm willing to admit.
This is actually a virtual job interview. So, Andrew, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us your day-to-day routine at the U.S. Postal Service for the last 7 years.
Wow, you guys are really hot on telling everybody where I work. I appreciate that in no way, shape, or form. I do like to mansplain on a daily basis. I feel superior to most other human beings that roam the earth, and I think I'd be a great fit to this megalomaniacal outfit that you've been running here. So I think we're ready to put me in charge. What do you guys think?
Yeah, hired. Good enough for me.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When can you start?
Let's do it.
Tonight?
I already did.
Right now.
You already clocked in. Hey, you texted me. You told me to remind you about mansplaining. Do you recall the story? Do you have a story for us?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely recall the story because I gotta say that when we do have these conversations, and I know some ladies out there, they don't get that we're joking. Ladies, when we do the podcast, we're being kind of facetious with some of the words that we say, just to let you know that it's not always literal truth that we're speaking to power here on the show. But sometimes I do find that I get a little introspective, and my wife decided she was going to help me with some yard work the other day, and she had the old weed eater out. And she's going around, and she's weed eating stuff, and she's over by the garden hose. I'm like, hey! Trying to hit the garden hose. The weed eater's a little more powerful than you think. Might split it open. She's like, okay, I got it. And she's over by the air conditioner. I'm like, hey! Air conditioner, those little foil things there? Yeah, you don't want to split those up. That'll fuck the air conditioner up. So it's like, and she just drops her shoulder. She's like, I got this, right? I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Then she's over by the pool. Where we the pool that we bought for my boy, and I'm like, oh shit! If she hits that pool, it's gonna be Leak City all over the place. But I'm like, no, I've already mansplained to her twice how to use the weed eater. I am going to leave her alone, and I am going to let her be. She's got this. No, quicker than I thought it did she drop her arms and go, and there's just water shooting out the side of the pool.
Ooh, ruined it? Did you patch it?
Thankfully, I had some good old-fashioned flex tape lying around the house, and I sprinted around for about 5 minutes until I found it, and I slapped her up, patched her up, and we got a little bit of a slow drip coming out of her, but enough to keep her intact for now. Yeah. But here's the problem I had, and this is why I wanted to bring it up with you guys. Is because when I was done, I said, air conditioning unit, because I'd already told you twice something that you apparently knew, and so I left it alone. She's like, yeah, but why didn't you say something about the pool? I said, because I didn't want to overextend. I felt like I was being condescending, so I wanted to let you handle it yourself. She's like, listen, the next time you tell me, let me get mad about you telling me, and then it just won't happen. I'm like, you motherfucker. You women want it all the ways you want it. You want it every way.
It's cheap.
But the way it should be, where
It's
I
cheap.
get to explain things, and you get to be upset by it, and then things don't happen that are awful. You can't have it both ways. You can't tell me that I'm not supposed to tell you something, and then tell me I was supposed to tell you something when I didn't tell you.
Because ultimately what will happen is, if you do that and then nothing happens, then it turns into that. See, every time you do this, I always do it correctly. Right? You don't need to do it every single time.
Yeah.
And it's always a every time or a all the time or the extreme. It's 100%. Yeah. No, that's cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
That's that creme de la brulee.
Yeah. You never win. That's good. Yeah, man. You're just kind of screwed. I mean, you know this already. You just got to take this L.
Well, I just don't want women to give a shit about it anymore.
Yeah.
This is okay. Maybe this is a male shortcoming that we feel the need to explain everything because guess what? Maybe we're a little more experienced in the departments we like to over-explain things. You know, it's been admittedly it took women a while, not necessarily their fault, to get up to the level that we are at currently or we've been at for a long time. So I feel like the mankind of the species is maybe a little more experienced in certain ways of the world. So maybe you should just accept the fact that we are explaining it to you and allowing you to participate. Because it seems like the...
Go ahead. How did you wind up with flex tape? Was that a impulse buy on a late night? Was that a... If you call now, you'll get 2!
You get 2 rolls of flex tape.
As you know, advertising works, which is why if anybody would like to be a sponsor of the Middle Classholes, we're accepting any and all for the low price of whatever the fuck you want to offer us.
Yeah,
I had a leaky tub, and I wasn't sure how to fix it, so I figured I'll buy Flex Seal, I'll buy Flex Tape, and we will flex our way to dry this. But the best part about this is, and this is 14 years of marriage right here, I knew I had the Flex Tape, so I ran to the garage which is the last place I left it. And then I was like, okay, she's been in here. It's not going to be where I left it. Where the fuck would she put it? And I ran back in the house straight to the laundry room, and I saw this box of stuff. I'm like, okay, it shouldn't be with this stuff, but she's going to think it belongs here. So I started rooting through, and I magically found it. Because it was with knickknacks that were similar in the female mind. It wasn't where it should be, but it's where she thought it should be.
The box of stuff. You know, actually, in setting this whole like semi-studio up, I needed an extension cord, a 3-prong for the monitor that we have in front of us here, and couldn't find. I have a specific 25-foot green extension cord that I use for most situations like this.
So specific.
Yeah. And couldn't find it, and I marched upstairs and started looking around, and Sarah asked, and I said, of course, I put these things in very specific spots so I can fucking find them, and it's not fucking there.
It's like slowly the rage builds.
Yeah, and she came downstairs and putzed around and goes, like, oh, here it is. It's like, well, actually, let me backtrack. I said, it's not going to be anywhere over there. I looked, I scoured that fucking entire area, limb to limb. She's like, oh, it's right here? I was like, where'd you find that? Right here, babe. Don't be afraid to ask for help from time to time. So,
rage. Fury.
how I missed it, I don't know. It's kind of beyond me. Right on top of this dustbuster. My favorite dustbuster, too. That thing's like 20 years old. That thing can pick up drywall, fucking maggots, dog shit, everything.
Those seem like odd things to use a dustbuster on.
Well, I think I was picking up some stuff out in the back. I think I was picking up some mortar, some brick sediment.
It's like dog shit.
I would never do that.
You had to consciously think of that. And like, no, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't. There's no shot in hell that I would. Just to test the what would you call the suctiony or just the efficiency of this
Suctionness.
I
think they're measured in Dysons now because Dyson is Dyson.
That's Dyson is the Scoville units of
the gold standard of vacuum suction.
This Philips is a 7 Dyson Crown or
even Hoover's like does Hoover still make shit? Do we know anybody?
Yes. I have a Hoover carpet cleaner sitting right behind me somewhere.
There you go.
Yeah, probably got it with the flex tape.
Even Hoover fucking. Even Hoover gets measured in Dysons now. It's everyone.
Yeah, it's a symbol too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like
it's the tiny little D.
But you go right on the when you're shopping around, you can find the cards.
It's basically the Beats by Dre B, but a D. It's just a little lowercase D.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this thing's old enough. this was in my parents' household in the late 90s. And then it was gifted to me when I moved out of the house.
Is it a Dirt Devil?
Yeah. And it's
Wait. What color is it?
red.
Okay, so yeah, that's a Dirt Devil.
it's a
Okay,
Dirt Devil.
a Dust Buster
Dirt
was
Devil.
like a
Yes, Dirt Devil.
the Dust Buster. It looked like a flashlight that had failed the flashlight school, and it was like that kind of like cream colored plastic.
Okay.
And it, like the old Nintendo color,
Right.
And then just for no reason at all, it would just like age and tan for no reason. Like it wasn't even dirty. It's just the plastic was like deteriorating before your eyes. Like it had a half-life of like a year before it looked like shit.
No.
So yes, the Dust Devil,
Dirt
Devil was a superior product.
This is it's got the handle and the flimsy bag behind it, and it's all motor, and on the front has this like little rubber piece that looks kind of similar to a gas cap, a little bit smaller, that you pull off. That's where you stick the hose attachment to. But in order to get that to work, you have to like peel off this fucking super wound tight rubber band that could snap your finger off if you ain't careful. That's how it gets all the fucking. And man, it is. There's a Simpsons episode where Homer is mowing the lawn with a weed whacker.
Yeah.
And Flanders gives him shit. Like, hey, those are for edges. Like, whoa, it was almost done. I've vacuumed entire floors with it. Just it's not.
It seems like a lot of work.
It's efficient. It's
Is it?
efficient.
I guess you can get it done.
Yeah, but then when you dump that bag out, man, it's steer clear.
Is it battery operated? Or do you have to have the bitch plugged in?
Plugged in.
Nice.
Yeah. It's probably why I had the fucking extension cord nearby. I was probably on some real hot and heavy
We're like,
job that required.
I'm dirt deviling all over this first floor. There's so many spots to be dirt deviled.
I'm gonna Miss Doubtfire this bitch. I'm dancing around, fucking shook the table. Middle class holes, everybody. Foxman Alan Murr back at it, and you're moving here.
Yeah.
This is why Alan is here in the Fox Den, the recording studio. You're headed North County.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Not North County, north of Baltimore City in the
Baltimore
county.
County, yeah. North of the city.
Have you
to Towson?
Towson, did you scope out when you were looking at the place, and you and the lady friend decided on something? Did you already scope out like, yep, this is where I'm recording from?
Just as a, now, I just want to help Alan out a little bit. By lady friend,
Wife
means
my-
his
yeah.
wife.
My wife.
Yeah. The woman you swore an oath to
Yes.
under the eyes of God.
Yeah, we each have an office. There's a guest room. There's a finished basement. So yeah, there's space. I think I have one of the guest rooms is going to be, or one of the small bedrooms is going to be my office / recording.
Gotcha.
Dojo.
Kelly's office will be in the basement.
I think that's what
secondary living room or small living room.
I think that's what she said she's aiming for.
Okay, and you're going to get a spare bedroom.
Yeah.
Kind of what it is, what it was, right? I mean, that was a spare bedroom where you were.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice.
Now we actually have an extra spare bedroom for drunkards or whatever,
Right.
who come over.
I think
So.
I think what I'm going to do, gift you. I'm either going to get you a Dirt Devil, not the one that I have, but
If I can't plug it in, I'm going to be pissed. I
maybe
just need you to know that.
maybe I'll find something on Facebook Marketplace, some real 20-year-old fucker that's just, got another 40 years on it.
Yes.
Or I'll buy you one of those like stupid metal framed backdrops that you can use for the podcast, something like bricks or aged wood.
Oh, can you get lasers? Can you get the lasers background?
He wants the early 90s school picture.
I'm with that.
Okay.
I could definitely do that. I would be totally okay with it.
Okay. All right, I'll see what I can do.
I'll just start only buying 5-panel hats in fucking neon colors.
Right.
Just rock with it.
I think what I'm going to have to do is if I do get the backdrop, it's got to be something that has like 5 or 6 different pull downs. You know what I mean? So it's the frame, and then wound up top, there's a variety. You got mountains. You got some Bob Ross fucking painting.
You should go into a Spencer Gifts and just walk back to the poster fucking spindle and just be like, "Can I get the contraption, just the mechanism, and just fucking that will be good." I have like a fucking Sublime blacklight poster.
Right.
Fucking the Rock,
a giant
just a WWE,
a giant Murr, giant Murr portrait.
Then we could just swap them in and out. We can make different posters.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, you could probably just go down to your local J.C. Penney and just find like the sad man in the checkered pants and the Docksiders who's just been waiting to take a family portrait for the last 15 years that still has all of the backgrounds hidden in that fucking pull down screen thing he's got behind him, because nobody needs that anymore. No one. When you go to take pictures with Santa now, you can do it in front of a green screen if you want, and you can do anything. You can be on the North Pole. You can be handing out presents with Santa on the sleigh. You don't need any of that shit. And there's some guy that 20 years ago was like, I'm going to do this photography thing. Oh, yeah. Do family photos. I'm going to have 15 pull-down screens in this one machine.
What?
And he hasn't taken a picture in 10 years.
Why was... Like, you knew. You're like, oh, that family went to Sears.
Right.
You're like, yeah, they definitely hit a Sears. That's a Sears backdrop. I've seen it. I've seen it before.
Why was Olin Mills so... like either good or a monopoly, or is it just like they monetized it and they went all over the country and bought out little business,
probably
like little strip mall properties, and made it affordable for middle class families to go in there and put on some clip on ties and tilt your head obscenely fucking wide, like
it was the age of like really weird sweaters. Fucking turtlenecks, lots of turtlenecks. Yeah, that's good shit.
You just weren't. You weren't exactly accustomed to the lighting. Like nowhere was up lighting ever in your life, and all of a sudden you walk into a studio where it's like, yeah,
it's true.
I mean, you bring up a great subject. I'd like to see a documentary about like the late '80s, early '90s family portrait studios, because who were these people? They had to be failed photographers. I mean, they had to be people who wanted to work for National Geographic, and it's like, well, this is my first step. I'm gonna set up the family photo studio. Oh yeah. And then Olin Mills calls and you're like, ooh, like an actor who gets like a solid commercial gig. Like, this is gonna hold me down until I get to my project where I go out and I take pictures of snow pigeons. Oh, here we go, Olin Mills. You're gonna get me that mortgage and that Honda Civic I've always wanted.
Yeah, I was hoping to go to the great outdoors, maybe Alaska. Do photos of birds in the morning.
I wanted to live with the chimpanzees.
Yeah,
and now I'm in fucking Topeka, Kansas, just taking pictures of fucking middle class families.
3 to 7 person fucking dickheaded families. Just
there's a Chinese food joint next door.
Yeah. Me and my brother got them done. We got suits for a wedding when I was 10 and he was 13, and knowing that we were probably only going to wear these once.
Yeah.
We're going to grow out of them. My parents opted, let's get these two some real professional photos.
Swanky photos.
And I'll admit, it is Olin Mills, but I still see those around the house from time to time. I'm like, damn, those are nice photos.
Those are good.
My mom opted once. I think I was probably 7th or 8th grade, and I was still in the band. I was playing trombone, and she was like, I really want, because apparently I come from a lineage of trombone players. Well, my great-grandfather played in played in John Philip Sousa's marching band.
Okay.
All right. And my mom wanted to get pictures with me with the instrument, and it was 8 a.m. on a Saturday, and I came in and they looked like shit. I was like, what did you expect? I was like, I now sleep until 11, 12 o'clock on a Saturday. What do you expect me to be all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and smiling and tilt my head 10 to 2?
With the trombone.
With the trombone, yeah.
How old were you?
14.
Ugh. Oh, my God. Wait a minute. Did you play trombone in high school?
No. When
Did you play trombone at all?
Yeah, I got
okay.
At 3rd through 8th grade. Okay. When I got to high school, my dad said, your options are sports or marching band. You're not doing both. The marching band teacher tried to sell a lot of people like, oh, you can do both, because believe it or not, Perryville had a very competitive marching band program. They would travel to these competitions. But she said, we have lots of athletes. It's not a big deal. We'll work around your schedule. And yeah, Pop Fox was like, no, like you're either doing this or that. And it was a very easy decision. I was like, I'm going to
do the sports.
I'm playing the sports thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sad.
It was either sports or celibacy.
Yeah.
Your choice.
There was way more street cred involved.
I don't know, man. Rumor had it the band people were getting it in.
I mean, we know that. Now we know that in hindsight. Yeah. Go ahead.
But it was a closed ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's like, it had, like, there was like 2 okay band chicks.
Yeah.
And you probably would have studied yourself out. You probably would have been all right there, wee baby pop. You probably would have done all right, like nailing the 2 hot chicks in the band ensemble.
The brass of the marching band, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's right. It is a closed ecosystem. It's like drama,
right?
Like your theater kids, same shit.
Well, me and a buddy of a fraternity brother of ours, Mark, had talked about. There was a guy who, in his grade, he was this really, really dorky looking motherfucker who played. I don't know, say like it was like tuba or French horn or something like that.
Fucking awesome.
Who, I guess, told our fraternity brother by the time they were like 16, he's like, oh yeah, I've had sex with like 10 women.
Yeah.
And he was like, wait, I beg your pardon? Rewind. Mm-hmm. You're a dork. You're chess club vice president.
He's like, no, sir.
No.
I'm fucking first tuba. I'm first chair tuba in this marching band, so I gets all the play.
I pluck the strings from woodwinds to brass,
all
baby.
All the woodwinds, fucking small stringed instruments. No cellists. That shit's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. He's probably classist in some sort.
Yeah. And the guy's last name was Shart as well. Oh, and it was
wow.
So good.
We didn't know that didn't exist in 1999, 2000.
Yeah.
There wasn't, no one had thought of the idea of farting and shitting at the same time. It didn't.
Somebody had. It just hadn't been in a movie yet.
Hadn't migrated its way to upper Maryland.
To pop culture.
That's true.
That's hilarious.
We got a few animal segments I'd like to get to. We posted this on the official Middle Class Holes Facebook page. Bear mauls circus trainer. A Russian circus show went terribly awry after a humongous bear mauled its female trainer twice in front of horrified spectators, is seen in this alarming footage. You can check it out on that webpage. Unfortunately, I'm a little discombobulated and unable to share stuff. Well, I could. It's just going to be a pain in the ass. But yeah, she gets attacked once and then putzes around and gets attacked twice. And apparently, the Russian, this is a Russian circus. Mm-hmm. People run this, say don't worry about it. It happened a third time off camera, and she denied any medical attention, and they've continued on. And I like the second one because the dude who's running it just comes out and basically grabs him the same way you grab the scruff of a dog's neck. And the bear kind of like, ugh. But man, this is like, I don't know. What do these people expect? Christ, Freud got fucking mauled, and it ultimately led to his death, I think, or complications.
I think he's dead now, but I think he was just like, it fucked him all up.
Right.
For like a couple years,
I think it was more than. I think it was like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yes. But it did him no. This tiger like collapsed the lung, pierced his rear end.
Yeah. No, it's never a good idea.
He enjoyed the latter.
Sorry. The Freudian slip, if you will.
He was playing with them. But yeah, no.
You're talking about Siegfried and Roy?
Yeah. Was it Siegfried?
Yeah. Well, no. It's Siegfried. It bit his fucking like jugular.
Yeah.
Like he almost bled. He had a stroke from like blood loss.
See, that's the shit, man.
Yeah,
they're fucking.
I'll do it.
They're cats, bro. They're not going in to fucking kind of harm you.
Right.
They're going in to kill you.
Well, what about this bear?
This bear, they're definitely killing you.
Right.
I think bears only got 2 speeds, bud, and that's fucking hanging out and kill,
eating fish and kill. And and they dress these fuckers up in tutus and vests and hats and shit.
Can you imagine them little Russian vests?
Yeah.
Like,
God knows who hasn't dressed these fucks. You know, like, all right, hold still, and they run away.
I didn't even think about that. Do you think it's the same? It has to be the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, what I read in the story is it's like, okay, actually on one of our Fun Fact Fridays, we talked about how humans are one of the only species that don't have like a mating season, yet we do still tend to like, you know, bang in a cyclical process. Like it's like summer and winter months, like we tend to do a little more fucking. Well, apparently right now is bear mating season, and if you notice who he went after, it was none of the male trainers who were whipping him with sticks in the back. It was the woman who might have been ovulating at the moment. So if you are a burly, grizzly, if you will, Russian lass who happens to be in the close vicinity of a bear who's really comfortable with you, you may want to steer clear for the next couple of months or so.
So they weren't kidding in American Pie 2. That wasn't a joke.
No, I think you're thinking. Well, was it American Pie 2?
Yeah,
I was thinking Anchorman.
Well, remember because he goes to band camp, and the nerdy guy's like, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to have food. Food attracts bears." Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is Anchorman. Sorry, getting my shit movies
Bears
whipped up.
can smell the menstruation. Yeah, so I guess it is true. Fuck. Wow. Well, either way, we have no idea that we don't even know if she was ovulating. You just made that point up. But either way, middle class holes.
He's got a 25% chance of being right. I mean, it's not like a shot in the dark.
It's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's why you don't use wild animals as toys, because it's a bad idea.
So, I mean, I've seen, there's been instances where elephants just go ape shit, and I mean, just start fucking stomping on trainers and innocent victims. I've seen the tigers, lions. It's always going to be the roll of the dice. It's like NASCAR. You're going to have crashes. It's like baseball. Pitchers are going to get line drives. This will never end. But I don't know. Murph seems to enjoy it. Murph seems to get some put him in the tutus. Put him in the vest.
No, I enjoy it because everybody's like, okay, obviously is anyone shocked that the bear freaked out and tried to maul somebody? Is this a shocking fact for anyone?
No.
I'm shocked this doesn't happen more often, to be honest with you. I always expect something like this to happen every time.
There's only like 2.5 circuses left in the world, so.
That's a good point.
You know.
That's true. And they're all Russian. And you're right. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often, but that's why we go to see it, though. We go to watch it. Like, oh, look at the bear. He's dancing on a ball. Ain't that cute? But in the back of your mind, it's like, when's he going to snap and kill the next person he sees? Because everybody has a bad day. Humans have a bad day. Wes, I've watched you smash a keyboard because a Zoom meeting locked up for 30 seconds. But you have a part of your brain that can rationalize it, says, stop doing this. And I don't think you'd ever hurt a person. You'd probably give them a good scream. But you're not a bear.
The only reason a person wasn't attacked is because there was no one around here in the basement when it happened. True. It's the only thing I could grab right there in that moment.
That makes sense.
And it wasn't going to be the dirt devil. That's for fucking sure. Ain't harming that.
That's forever.
Actually, I'd punch it and it hurt. Oh, God. Son of a bitch.
I believe that.
Yeah,
but this is a bear who's got all this pent up rage and aggression from not being able to kill something for God knows how many years they've had this fucker in captivity. And yeah, then I'm telling you, he smells that sweet, delightful musk of a woman, and she's right there. The best part about it though is, okay, so he goes after her once. I'm sure that happens every now and again. On with the show. He does it twice. And these moron people, these moron Russians are like, oh, fuck it, let's just keep going. They paid good money for this. And then the third time, they haven't put 2 behind its ear. And it's still fucking, they're still trying to get it on the bike. To sit it out there, like, through the fiery hoop.
The show must go on.
Yeah. People pay good money, bro.
What kind of bear was it? Do we know?
I actually didn't.
Just a Russian brown bear.
What?
No,
Humongous.
it's gigantic. It was 800 pounds.
It's a humongous bear. It's from the cliff notes that I have
I was
here.
gonna say, I mean, Russian bear is probably not small. So that's fair.
Now it certainly it could have inflicted more damage from what I saw. It was certainly, I think, what Murr made a point. I was trying to get a little frisky, get a little.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been. Bear love is aggressive, man.
Because when that guy comes in and yokes him, I mean he calms down.
Yeah.
So, and the ball's on that dude. Legitimately.
Right?
Coming back.
What's Murr losing it over
Sorry.
here?
I'm sorry. Bear love is aggressive. I have to agree. You've ever been to Rehoboth and you've had a nice silk shirt on? Bear love can get real aggressive.
Bear love is mad aggressive.
We met a homosexual gentleman who in Dewey Beach who went by the name of Rooster. I thought that was we had a few jokes on his behalf about cock-a-doodle doo and
New best friends.
he would always put on Snuff the Rooster by Alice in Chains when it came time to get sensual.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I inadvertently hit on a gay Russian man by showing him my belt buckle?
No.
Nope.
Please do.
Go on.
We were down at Rehoboth. And by the way, anybody that's listening from outside the state of Maryland, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, it's a family resort town, but it's always been very gay friendly, even before America was fairly gay friendly.
It has pockets. It's not a homosexual town. It is a beach town that has pockets of. Listen, it's no coincidence. It's nice. All right, that's
true.
Yes, it's clean.
Yeah,
it's fashionable. There's
well decorated,
nice little tchotchke shops all over the place.
Yeah, it's well decorated.
Yeah.
The landscaping is well done.
Right.
In municipal parks and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're there.
So
and you're showing people your crotch. Okay, go on.
Well, I just haven't. I was working down there, and then my brother and his family came, so we met up with them. Anyway, they took my nephew to the Levi's outlet. There's a bunch of outlet stores down there. So he got a bunch of Levi's, and he got a belt. He was looking at a belt. He liked the belt, but it didn't have a buckle. And I was like, oh, no, dude. You can get a separate buckle. You can get something really cool. And at the time, I had this really, I don't know, it's a little cliche, but this really awesome, like, skull and crossbones, like, belt buckle. It was kind of big. It was almost the size of, like, a cowboy belt buckle. It was very rock and roll, okay? And at the time, I was Captain Rock and Roll, all right? So I was like, look, we can go find...
But go ahead.
I was like, we can go find you something like this. We're going to go down the boardwalk. We'll hit up some of the side stores. We'll see what we can find. We kept walking into these shops. Couldn't find anything. Finally, I walked into a place, and they had, like, this infinite supply of Zippos. And I'm like, okay, this kind of place that has, like, Cloverleaf Zippos, James Bond Zippos, they're going to have what I'm looking for. So I go to the guy behind the counter. I'm like, hey, you guys have any belt buckles? And he goes, belt buckles? I was like, yeah, belt buckles. Buckles for your belt. What are you talking about? I said, the kind of thing that you put on your belt that holds it together. And he's like, you'll have to show me. And then I lift up my shirt and I show him my belt buckle. He's like, we don't have any belt buckles, but thank you for showing me. And then I was like, okie dokie. And I grab my 14-year-old nephew and we walk out of the store. And then I get on my phone. I'm like, belt buckles, gay pickup. And yeah, apparently if you show a gay man your belt buckle, it means you're down to meet up later and take it off.
This is right up at getting the shaft.
This is good.
Belt buckles. Murr's got a good lineage of falling into that type of stuff. That's okay though, man. Hey. Actually, a buddy of mine's. I was down with a friend. I was down with Calvert's family, and we were staying at Dewey Beach, which neighbors Rehoboth Beach. You don't know where one ends and one begins. We're in Rehoboth Beach. We're at a bookstore, and a complete stranger, female, approaches my buddy's mom, and she's like poking through the cliff notes or the what's the first thing? The letter to the editor. Is that what it's called?
In what?
Like a novel or something.
Oh, like the prologue.
That's right.
Preface.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. But she's reading the page. She says, "Oh, that's a really good book. Oh, thank you." And then puts it down and follows her around a little bit. And it's obvious that she's interested. And then we leave, and she says, like, "Jesus Christ, am I fucking dressed like? Am I dressed like I'm trying to get picked up by women? Like, what the fuck?" So, I don't know. It may have been the book.
Hey, some people got that energy, I guess, man.
It's got that vibe, got that belt buckle vibe.
Fucking Mer's got that vibe.
All right. Staying on track here. Man caught with stolen alligator. If you guys look this up, a gentleman named William Hodge, 32-year-old fisherman, was arrested early today. This was dated this past Tuesday after officers spotted him trying to fling an alligator atop a building in Daytona Beach shores. When Hodge attempted to launch the alligator, failed. Hodge slammed the reptile to the ground and stomped on it, according to a charging affidavit. So he stole it from Congo River Golf and Exploration, which is a miniature golf course that offers patrons the ability to feed and then hold alligators. So look him up. This guy looks like not only an alligator thief, but also someone who consumes crystal meth, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Is a Florida man? Very Florida man.
William Hodge. The cops saw him whipping it around by its tail, and then it slipped out, and then he started stomping on it to, quote unquote, teach it a lesson. What lesson this fucking man? What was he trying to get it to do tricks? Did he try to dress it up and have it ride a bike?
No. Fucking alligator. Okay, I hate to, back up this guy's actions, okay? But, he's right. All these millions of years of evolution, and they've stayed the same. So, he's teaching him who's boss. Mankind's in charge, buddy. Fuck you. You're a pet. You're a pet for a miniature golf course. I'm going to show you what's up.
Maybe he's mad. He's mad that he had such a shit round. You know, he's like didn't score par on a miniature golf course. That maybe he lost to his daughter, lost to his wife. You know, he has multiple children. This guy's probably been procreating for the last 10 plus years.
Like a rabbit.
Yeah.
Just fucking turning them out. But, no, maybe maybe during his photo opportunity after his round, he nipped at him, and he took that personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he had to come back for revenge, and then, things escalate. Things get out of hand.
Maybe he just got done watching Happy Gilmore and he felt bad for Chubbs.
Maybe
he was like, you know what, fuck you.
When you seek revenge on an alligator, things probably escalate quickly. I would assume.
Well, if you again, I can't stress enough that everyone needs to take a peek at this guy's police mug. Yeah. Because he looks like the type of psycho that would grab an alligator by the tail and whip it around like he was stripping, like it was the clothes that he ripped off in a strip club and on the top of his head, and then stomp on it.
Yeah, but
oh wow!
But the great irony is that the alligator lived. So who won this round?
Wow, this guy looks like something.
Yeah.
You should pull it up, Murph, if you haven't already.
He probably thought the alligator was the meth dealer. And he fucked up a deal.
Yeah, that's and I'm assuming most of those marks on his face didn't come from this alligator encounter. That's just my guess. A lot of that was pre-existing.
Right.
Alligator fucking destruction. Yeah, right?
How
old was he?
30 years.
2.
That's 32 long, hard years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, his ears really hold that hair back, too.
Right?
Jesus.
You mean all that straw? That just bundle of straw back there? Yeah. It's good. It's good.
Like I said, man, he looks like the type of psycho that thinks, I'm gonna whip this gator into shape.
I'll tell you what, man. Story by story, episode by episode, we figure out why Florida is truly the pinnacle of what America is. It's just this. It's all of this stuff. This is America. That's America. Okay. Florida. It's great. Come visit Disney.
Okay, look. when you think of the Deep South, like, what are the states that you think of? Like, maybe like Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama. Well, Florida's right there, man. Yeah. Everybody thinks Florida's Miami Beach. Florida ain't Miami Beach. No. Florida's a big fucking state. Yeah, Florida is. All until you get to the tip of the penis, it's backwoods fucking morons all the way through. Yeah. It's 95% stupid, and that's a lot of stupid for a state that size.
I tried to I know this because I'm pretty well versed in like America. Well, I'm a bit of a geography guy, but take out like Miami Beach, Orlando, parts of the Keys, some of the college towns here and there, your Tallahassee, your Gainesville, and like to an extent Tampa. And some of the retirement communities, and you're like, well, Jesus, you've named off a dozen things. Well, again, yes, Florida's a huge state. It is South. Yeah, it is deep South, and you get guys like William Hodge, who presumably isn't sober. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to prejudge, but
a sober man doesn't spin an alligator by its tail. That's all I'm saying. Like,
steal it from a mini golf course.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought maybe a putter or a purple golf ball that
it still astounds me. But I mean, only in Florida would a mini golf course have a live alligator to use as a fucking marketing tool.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, stay away. And I know, I totally understand that whole fucking Southern Florida thing, because we went to Florida on vacation and went to visit my sister-in-law's aunt in some backwater town in Florida. And she was like, neighbor's like Klan guy, so you might want to just hang out on our property tonight. And, don't go wandering off.
Jesus Christ.
With me and my brother, who are this color.
Yeah, right.
She was like, he's a nice guy, though. And I was like, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's a delight.
Sounds like a sweetheart.
Sounds like a good guy. So, nope, Florida. Good times.
Fuck. All right.
I mean, if you ever need your bed sheets pressed, he's the guy to go to.
That's your man.
If you need an alligator flinger, he's your guy. So last thing, we're keeping on to the animal theme here.
I like it.
This is the last thing we get to, last bit we get to before the break. For the first time ever, scientists witnessed chimps killing gorillas. I know this made Murd's little fucking belt buckle loins just jump through the roof here. So new research details 2 fatal encounters with wild chimpanzees attacked and killed gorillas. It's a rare example of one of the great ape species attacking another, and scientists are worried that climate change might have something to do with it. So they go on about food, territory. I like to point out that of these 2 encounters, the first one was 53 minutes, and the second one was 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, the chimps outnumbered the silverbacks, which made it, an even fight, because some of these silverbacks were like 4 to 5 times larger than the chimps. They say that the chimps got the better of them for the most part, killed a couple infants. 80 fucking minutes. Yeah. Most human fights, like bar fights, or not even good ones, are like about a minute tops. And it's just, you're out of juice. You gotta like, and 80 fucking minutes. God, Royce Gracie fought. Was it the Gracie killer? Sakuraba to it like a 60-minute draw, and those guys were like. Barely throwing punches at the end.
Yeah. No, I mean, I did read that article. That was mad interesting. Did you find this one?
Yeah, that's why Murr gave the big jerk off thing to the climate change.
Oh yeah,
Murr was like, "Ooh, climate change
couldn't possibly happen." That's just fucking silly.
No, okay, I'm not saying that it's not a potential thing, but they mention it 3 times in the article. Even though there's absolutely zero that says that this is why they're fighting.
I'm with you.
Look, maybe, and this is what makes me mad about that, is because when you go ahead and you pinpoint like, it's got to be climate change, then you automatically, sort of like the virus, okay? Sort of like COVID, right? They're like, at the beginning, it can't be the lab. And so they stop looking at everything else. They stop. And so when they start mentioning climate change 3 times, potentially, possibly, maybe it's just evolution. We are most closely related to chimpanzees. And what have we done since our fucking inception? We've beat the piss out of each other. How long was the Battle of Gettysburg? Was it 80 minutes? It's probably a little longer, and it was fucking much more devastating than what happened with these chimps. Maybe they're evolving. Maybe we should start looking into the evolutionary process of high-minded hominids that are living in the wild. Maybe they just fucking like, fuck this. Maybe they're setting up civilization, and these motherfuckers got to go. Maybe we should start looking to see why we're so warlike instead of trying to figure out why the climate might be getting warmer because chimpanzees beat the shit out of a couple of gorillas. It's fucking amazing. Maybe the chimpanzees, they got a plan, and before the Planet of the Apes comes to fruition, we should figure out what their fucking plan is.
Well, I think the article had said that they lived in harmony. These very same clans, that they had even eaten together, shared food, in close proximity. But what I'm thinking is that Murr may be bringing up like a point that he doesn't even know that he's thinking about. Because in an early episode we talked about, and I don't remember what type of monkeys they had taught currency to, and then immediately they prostituted themselves out. Yeah. I think what Murr wants to do is teach chimps how to shoot cannons. And then arm them with, gunpowder and certain things, and then watch, and not an 80-minute scrap. He wants fucking
like a week or two
artillery,
standoffs,
archers,
like starving people out. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
real siege warfare is what you're looking for.
Napalm trenches,
just very rudimentary, or early civilization kind of warfare. I can dig that.
I want to introduce man-made weaponry to all sorts of high-thinking animals. Absolutely, I'd love to give them an M16 and just see what happens. I'd like to do these things, but you know what? I'm not an animal. I want to see this play out naturally. Apparently, orangutans have learned to fish. They've learned to fish. They've learned to take sticks. They've learned to spearfish. And they're like, there are scientists out there studying the great apes and saying that the great apes have now actually entered the Stone Age in comparison to man, which puts them thousands of years behind us.
Yeah.
But the very
it's more like tens of thousands, but semantics. That's fine.
I said thousands. I didn't say millions.
No,
I didn't say hundreds.
I said tens of thousands. Tens of thousands. I'm just, like I said, semantics. Don't nit me. I'll fucking close this out. Me and Alan will finish this fucking episode. We're here, baby.
Okay, all right. Okay. And this also comes to my next point. Sometimes animals are just dicks for no reason.
Yeah.
Sort of like, like when somebody says thousands of years and someone corrects them and says tens of thousands of years. They're just being a dick for no reason. And then, what you do is you stomp their whole family for 80 minutes and you kill one of their kids. And then you end up on a story.
Seems extreme.
On the Drudge Report.
Seems
for a
extreme.
bunch of chuckleheads to talk about.
It seems extreme when you put it that way. No, I mean, he could be right. I mean, they just... Or, like, they've got a new leader, the Chimps, that is, and that leader was like, fuck these gorillas.
Right.
Like, I don't care if we've eaten figs together out of a tree.
Yeah.
Screw these guys. And then they kill a baby, which is kind of rude. The second time they ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One female ate like a whole baby.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know how big a baby gorilla is, but I assume it's a hearty meal.
I'm assuming
it's the equivalent of like a human eating a whole Costco rotisserie chicken.
Right. That's a chimpanzee, but man versus food.
Yeah.
It's like
like the burrito from fucking what's it called?
The blue agave, the one I failed to eat.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But if they are starting a war, and if you're the chick chimp that ate a gorilla baby, I gotta tell you something. There's gonna be a crown placed atop your head real quick when you get back to town.
Yeah, that's right.
You're queen bitch. What did she do? What did Jane do? She ate a fucking gorilla baby.
She ate a gorilla.
Holy shit! The whole thing in one sitting.
Now, my lone discretion with this is not. I have a few, but my number one is okay. Obviously, as a biologist and these people who are trying to make sense of this, you can only be a conscientious observer. You can't. You'd be an idiot to interject and try to play peacemaker. Excuse me, everyone. Then you're on the menu for both parties.
Yeah, you're definitely dead.
Okay. 80 minutes long, and you can't pull out your fucking phone.
Oh, they got footage. They definitely got footage.
You sure?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. Then I'm waiting. Then I want to see this because I can't. That's mayhem.
Yeah.
That's like a riot that it's ensuing. Like storm the Capitol.
Yeah.
Pale in comparison to the noises and the fucking mayhem.
Well, that's what, I think that article was very good at depicting. Was like the one scientist was like, man, we first heard like the chimps screaming, and we were like, oh, it's just some chimps running into some other chimps. And then somebody was like, oh, they heard fucking chest pounding. And it was like, only gorillas chest pound. Like, they're the only great ape that does it. And they were like, oh, shit. We should probably go see what's going on. For 80 minutes, like, haven't you seen a Discovery Channel documentary? And with Planet Earth, like, if you see the behind the scenes, them motherfuckers are ready to capture animals in, 30 seconds. Yeah. Like, they got their shit set up. They just run out, start clicking shit. Good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's footage of that shit. Don't you worry.
All right.
Yeah. And somebody needs to inject David Attenborough's 90-some-year-old ass with some fucking HGH, some fucking steroids, and some good old-fashioned, Heisenberg methamphetamine, and get him ready for this fucking voiceover work. Because that's going to be fucking amazing.
It's going to be so fucking exhilarating.
In a plexiglass cage.
Yeah.
Right up front and center.
Yeah.
He's play-by-play
live.
that can't get hurt.
Could you imagine? That would be fucking amazing. I'd pay for that.
Yeah. And you got to figure, I'm just thinking the psychology of a silverback. Okay, then, but you some of these males are like 600 pounds.
Yeah.
And, they're having trouble with 4 and 5 chimps. I know chimps are incredibly strong.
It's 100 pounds of chimp. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems from what I read is that the chimps have the numbers and the smarts. And the silverbacks can't figure it out. They're going to have to go to the drawing board. They're going to go to the war room.
Yeah, well,
draw a couple X's and O's and fucking Lombardi this shit.
Look, I think this happens a couple more times, and fucking chimp leader accidentally gets a little too close, and fucking homeboy just fucking rips him in half. Yeah. And the chimps are like, all right, we're done with that experiment. That was fun. But yeah, they go back. They're like, yo, he just ripped him in half.
Yeah, you know where his waist was?
Yeah.
It went this way, and then his face went that. His arms were waving, and his legs were waving 40 feet apart.
At the same time.
40 feet apart.
And it's just squirting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you ever seen that any magician fucking tear a phone book? It was like that, but with a chimp.
The same.
But with Fred. Like, they just did it to Fred. He's dead now.
Remember when Pete handed the magician a saw to saw a woman in half? Yeah. That's what
he did it without the saw. He did it with his hands. He just did it with his hands.
Outside of the box.
Yeah, that's, I think, what's going to happen.
Like a warm, creamy chutney. Get ready for another spoonful of the middle Classholes.
Guy who makes the best.
The story about
he makes the best pizzas. This guy makes the best pizzas apparently, in the New York, New Jersey area, but he's only open 15 days a year, and he sells out obviously every single day that he decides he's going to work. And then he makes all of his money for the year in 15 days.
Damn. And did you catch what does he do?
No,
the specialty.
It's a tomato pie, because a tomato pie and a pizza are two different things. It's tomato pie with mozzarella, and it's apparently the best thing that anyone's ever had. And yeah, he only works 15 days a year. And there's some sushi guy I heard about who they only serve 10 customers a day because they give them the full attentive service, one customer at a time. Mm-hmm. And so there is a 2,000 day wait period on your reservation. So if you make a reservation, it might be what's 2,000 days? Fucking 10 years almost.
Seven and some change. Yeah, that sounds great. I might be dead then.
Yeah.
No. I'm just saying that there's a good chance some sort of disaster could happen, or
some random event.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, look, every fucking Italian American from New York, New Jersey has their best pizza spot, and this guy just seems to have hooked more Italians than the average, and so he can open for 15 days. That's it. So he just got
but see, it makes me wonder if the pizza's that good or if it's that exclusive. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's on the plus side of good, but it's only available for so long. So when you get it, you're like, oh, I had it.
Yeah. And I will tell anybody that will listen to me that pizza is a fucking racket. Like, it's the biggest racket of all foods, all like fast to a moderate speed foods that you could possibly get. Like, I think Domino's, like a pepperoni pizza costs like $1.75. And they sell that bitch to you for like $20. So yeah, pizza. That guy's fucking hauling it in. Even if his pizza is slightly more expensive. What's it, $2.50? Sweet. Here it is, $18 for a large pie. Hand it over. Fucking just
probably more than that.
Yeah.
If it's that exclusive, it's probably more than that.
That's what I'm saying. Scrooge McDucky money.
And this is where the Dave Portnoy from Barstool was made a. I don't know if that's where he made his name. I know he was co-creator of Barstool, but the one bite challenge, the single pizza challenge. He goes around and eats all the fucking pies and gives them a 1 to 10 rating.
That's the big reason people know his stupid fucking.
Dude, that's a side project.
Yeah,
that's a side project for him. He sold Okay, so he started Barstool and then he sold it, but he stayed on as El Presidente. Now he doesn't get his money for another. At this point, I think he's got 3 years left, and then he gets $100 million. So he still gets a salary from Barstool for being El Presidente, but he gets $100 million coming up. So it's almost like he's got a trust fund coming to him. So he's almost got like nothing to do except for like promote the brand, and that's what he's there for. And so he does that one bite challenge shit. It's a fucking amazing. The guy, I take my hat off to Dave Portnoy. He's I'm just so jealous of that son of a bitch, actually.
Like, I kind of hate him, but I mean, I respect him.
He was extremely vocal when that whole GameStop thing happened about how it was illegal because rich people were losing their money. Exactly. And they're like, nope, we're gonna
shut it down.
Gonna put a halt to this.
Well, they in essence stopped trading, which doesn't happen.
Right.
That's not a thing that just happens.
Sure.
For any old reason. So yeah, I mean, good reason to be pissed off. He's just a douche. So it is what it is.
Speaking of douches, you guys hear Brady might be in hot water with the NFL, but likely won't. Okay, so yeah, played nearly the entire year with a torn MCL. And the NFL has a very, very unambiguous. It almost details how teams need to report injuries. And they didn't report him once. And I don't know. The article that I read just basically said, he was the only person on the sideline during certain games without a mask. He's cheated before. He's deflated footballs. He's done this, he's done that, and he's not going to get fucking. No, nothing's going to happen. It's like, oh wow, well, I mean, good for him. Look at him, 42 years old, torn MCL, playing the whole year. Yeah. God, why the hell would they need to report it? Don't all 42-year-olds have kind of torn knees up anyway?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's.
I know I read the statute, the NFL rule book statute that it said, and it's pretty specific. If you have a key player with an injury, no matter if they're playing or not, you have to report it and yada, yada, yada. There is the word like in there at some point, which kind of makes it ambiguous. It almost like throws the whole thing, it throws the whole thing out. It's like, but here's my point on reporting injuries. If all players have injuries all the time. As soon as the first preseason game's over, you've got an injury of some kind. But if it's not preventing you from performing your job, is it an injury? It's almost like a tree falling in the woods kind of thing. Like, If it's not hindering your performance, do you have to consider that an injury? If it's something you're willing to play through, because okay, let's say the Bucks like said, oh well, Tom Brady's got a torn MCL, but he's still going to play. And are they then going to assume that he's lying because he's still performing at the level he's performing? Like, bullshit. They keep saying Tom Brady's got an MCL every fucking week of the season, but he's still out there throwing touchdown passes. He's not missing anything. He still moves like he did. I'm going to call bullshit on a torn MCL. Like, what did it matter? How was it consequential to the game?
I had to suspect that there's some like liability with players and their salary.
Yeah.
I had to suspect that there's something much more larger than Tom Brady being able to shuffle around the pocket. My guess is, and I don't know this for sure, that years and years and years worth of collective bargaining agreements determine that this has to be done in order for player safety. Yeah. So you have to, whether or not he's going to play, you have to report that he is either questionable, probable, or whatever.
Yeah. I would say that not only that, but like you said, you alluded to was liability. So it's probably like, there's all contract language and money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, it's the same reason why like you their contracts are like, oh, well, you can't fucking race fucking motorcycles, dickhead. Because we pay for your body to work. So yeah, that it's the kind of thing like if he's signed to a multi-year contract, the team should want to cough it up because hypothetically he blows out that knee and then he just never comes back. Where he could have just sidelined himself and played another year or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, shit like that. It's stupid.
It is. I don't have to like it to understand it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think there's more of a bigger picture of non-Tom Brady-esque stories that probably fucked over the small potatoes players of the league years back. This is why you had to do it.
There's a 6'9", fucking 300+ pound O lineman who played like 4 years, and didn't end up on Nike commercials or Under Armour commercials, and fucking played through his MCL tear and is now living in a fucking motel.
Not married to a Brazilian model.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't eat fucking kale smoothies and sucks them into his rear end.
Ironically make Subway commercials and then joke about how he wouldn't eat Subway.
Yeah.
No, I'm hearing the words that you're saying, but I'm still not necessarily understanding, and I'm not trying to be like obtuse or fucking like confrontational. Like, I still don't get what you mean. I like legit, like, homeboy has a torn thing in his leg. And they're like, Tom, are you good? Yeah, I'm good. Okay.
Right. But
like, I don't know. I feel like it should be that simple. I don't necessarily understand the repercussions of his actions and how this.
Okay, but this is an agreed upon collective bargaining agreement item within, however big this collective bargaining agreement is in the NFL. I'm assuming it's like a Bible times 9. They do it every, I think it's 4 years, maybe 5. And this is an item in there that calls out specifically that you don't have to get super detailed, but for a case like Tom Brady, it has to be probable, knee. You have to call that out. You can't leave that, uncalled for, unnoticed, or anything like that. Why that's a rule? My guess is it's because of liability. Because someone probably got fucked over years ago.
Okay, and that's all well and good, but I guess my point is, if going back to everybody's injured all the time in the NFL, it's just how severe is the injury. Well, even if on paper the injury is severe from a medical standpoint, if it's not hindering the ability of the player, is it an injury? So do I have to report that I have a a bruised pectoral muscle, or like Ray Lewis? Remember when he tore his bicep, and then of course he had the whole like antler spray controversy, and then he was back. But if he was able to like tape it up and play, like there's been play. Obviously, they're playing with like a broken appendage, but do they have to continue to report that, or is it just like, oh, he's got a ball of tape as a hand? We know there's something wrong there, but it's not affecting his play, so we don't have to report that.
Yeah, you have to report it.
Am I making sense?
No, yeah, I understand what you're saying. If you look at the injury report for every team, every week you'd be shocked at how many guys are like probable. It's it's a laundry list.
Yeah.
No. But I feel like if they start to really enforce that rule, then an entire starting squad is going to be probable every week if they want to be dicks about it. If teams want to start being dicks about it and following the letter of the bargaining agreement, then every player is probable every week. And then it makes the injury report like a non-consequential thing. It makes it just nonsense. If you're looking at the injury report and every player is on it as probable every week because everybody's injured in some capacity, then what's the point of the injury report?
What does the language say? Didn't it say? I thought I heard something about like high profile players. Is it all players or is it just certain players?
It says key. Key is the key word. Key players. And what does that mean? Because there's special teams guys that can suck a dick, but every now and again you get a Devin Hester.
Yeah, but he would be a key player. So he'd be somebody you have to put on.
But only because he's Devin Hester.
Yeah, exactly.
But only because he's Devin Hester, not because he's a returner. Yeah. Yeah. But so now we're like,
so like your team captains are key players.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Shit like that. I think you were at this point in the conversation, I think you're just you're just standing on this hill and you're dying on it, and it's just dumb.
It's Tom Brady.
Yeah. It's what I do. You know what a key player is, motherfucker. Yeah. It's the quarterback for sure.
That's right.
It's your number one receiver. It's your fucking defensive captain. It's your fucking running back.
Okay.
Do you understand? Like,
so is it by name?
Okay. To play devil's advocate, nearly every game for the last 11 years when Brady was in New England, he was questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was always ankle or shoulder. Yeah, for no reason at all. That's because Belichick's a fucking dick.
Yeah, but when it coming back to the whole key player thing, I'm trying to figure out how they can skirt around this without getting fined too. So I would say yes, Tom Brady, the name Tom Brady, key player. Quarterback, does that necessarily mean key player? Now some would argue yes, but then I'll bring up a Super Bowl champion quarterback in the name of Trent Dilfer. Would you consider him a key player?
Yes.
Though he does play the quarterback position.
Yeah. He didn't lose the ball. He was a very key player. He touched it. Even though he sucked, he touched it the most.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. It's like being like, oh, is your pitcher, your catcher tonight the key player? Yes, they're very key. They make the game happen.
And the first touchdown in Super Bowl was at 35.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Stokely when he beat Jason Sehorn. Yeah. Key player.
Yeah. He threw a bomb for a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Key player.
But if we're talking about players that touch the ball the most, like the center is not always the key player. And so does that mean you always have to report the center's like questionable injuries?
I mean, I think you do see a fair amount of centers on injury lists if they are injured because most teams have a backup center, but he's kind of the guy. Like they don't like to. A lot of NFL teams will tell you, "Fucking, you know what? Get one fat guard out of here and put another fucking fat guard in there. We're good to go. Don't lose our center, because he's got a rapport with the guy who puts his hands in his taint.
A tackle gets hurt, a guard moves outside.
Yeah." Exactly.
Actually, another tackle
sometimes depends on the guard.
If the left tackle gets hurt, the right tackle moves over and the guard moves out.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah. Okay.
The bottom line is, I get it, but I get it from a clerical standpoint, like you were explaining, Wes. I do get it from that standpoint, but I guess from where I'm coming from is if it didn't hinder his ability, if it didn't hinder the Super Bowl MVP champion's ability to play the position, how injured was he? Even though medically you would consider him injured, I'd say from a proficiency standpoint, no, he wasn't injured. Well, so why report it?
If any given Sunday taught me anything, it's that professional athletes are juiced up in a million ways to Sunday. So
that's right.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably have some torn something and just jab a fucking needle in there and you're good to go. You know what I mean?
Fun fact about that movie. I went with a group of people and myself and Ryan
Nice.
Opted to because we got there late. Opted to get concessions.
Okay.
While everyone else rushed in.
That's fair.
And us being young and stupid didn't bother checking. There were two planes happening side by side movies, and we walked into one. As the doors looked, I was like, "Oh, they're right in the thick of things." Couldn't find anyone, so we sat down. And the movie lasted about 50 minutes. Like,
this is short.
That's a short movie, and realized we went into the wrong film, the wrong theater.
Yeah.
Walked into the real theater at about the exact same moment that we walked into the other one. Nice. So we watched the last half of Any Given Sunday
twice,
2 times in the movie. Yeah, and then we're asking everyone on the way home, give us a rundown of what happened in the beginning. Fucking bullshit. All right, speaking of key players, our boy Bezos, Amazon CEO and president or whatever the fuck else he goes by, got launched into space. He is he 002? They didn't say it in the article. All I know is he took an 18-year-old Dutch man.
Naturally.
He took a 82-year-old Texas cattle farmer who are now the oldest and the youngest people in this space. They went 62 miles, thus kind of like poo-pooing.
Thus being better than fucking Richard Branson.
That's right.
What you're saying. I got you.
And it was totally automated. It was just them. There weren't pilots or anything else. The pilots and the controllers were coming via the Bezos control station.
So that's a remote control penis that they fucking. I got you.
He said he loved it. Said that his expectations were high and everything exceeded expectations. This is more of your guys' realm. This is more Timothy Oliphant doing this to you, but I enjoyed. It was a fun read, and Christ, where's the lottery? I want in. I want space. I want moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus.
Yeah, all of them.
You want my anus? All right, Alan. What was your take first?
I mean, I don't know if it's less cool because there's just a bunch of billionaires doing it. Like, I want to feel more excited for this, but I'm like, good job, rich guys. So it's awesome. But like, what did the one guy pay? Like 28 million, and then he had like a fucking Parcheesi tournament that he couldn't fucking reschedule, so he had to like put it off. So I'm just until it gets down to a reasonable until I can go to Floston Paradise. Like in The Fifth Element, and and win it on the radio station. I'm not really going to be happy. I don't have $28 million to go to space.
Multi-pass.
I would like to go to space.
Yeah.
So it's sweet. It's cool. Privatizing space travel, I guess, which is sweet. But I mean, we'll be dead before we can do it like awesomely, like in movies. So fuck it.
Awesomely.
Well, I have to say, Elon Musk has gotten the majority of the coverage on, the rocketry, the abilities. And I got to say, as kind of phallic as the Blue Origin is, that's a solid fucking rocket. Like, I mean, the bottom came down, that top, here's what Bezos has that other people don't have, that Musk and Branson don't have, is that giant dome thing they went up in. It was just like a giant party platter of people going up there. There's lots of space. There's lots of windows. That's what I think Bezos has made, which makes sense considering Amazon, is he has made the pimpin' porno party version of space travel. You can go up, you can hang out, you can crack some champagne, you can fucking put on a little discotheque with your friends, and then you can flop back to Earth. I think Musk has it for actual human travel between planets and interstellar objects, which isn't quite as sexy as what Bezos has done. Branson was just like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I made it happen. I can get to space. Bezos is like, I can market the shit out of this to fucking regular assholes with $50,000 in their pockets to burn. Because I think they'll get it down to about that price range. $50,000, you and 3 of your friends can go up. I'm talking 10 years down the road. But I mean, Musk is going to put us on Mars. Musk is going to put us on the moon. And the thing that Musk has over Bezos's design is that the whole fucking thing relands.
Yeah.
Whereas Bezos has to put the whole joint back together and do it again. And yeah, but that design was, and it just, not being funny, like that design, as gay as it looked, was actually superior to the other ones, in my opinion.
Do you think there's a pissing contest amongst the billionaires to? I mean, does Musk understand the bigger picture and say, I'm not getting into this like consumer brand space flight. I have a bigger picture in mind, while Branson and Bezos are trying, like, all right, let's go. We're going to make this a theme park ride, and whoever can make the biggest, baddest fucking Rocky mountain splash or whatever.
I think that's right. I think that's an accurate assessment. I think Musk probably for like a split second was like, fucking kidding me? The fucking prepaid cell phone guy, like that fucking guy, like fucking the fucking CD mega store. His fucking line of business has been dead for 20 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but then he calmed down and was like, I'm going to terraform Mars and we're going to live there. Wow. And fucking, it's going to be good. So like he had a brief moment of rage, I'm sure.
Right.
Well, you have to.
In his own way. Not like sub chimpanzee rape. Probably like,
oh, it was very docile.
Yeah.
He like threw his sushi. His California roll. He like flipped it off the table.
He asked Smithers to come in the room. Come here.
Here, wipe this off the table in anger.
Yeah.
And then his Smithers did it.
It did. Now does Richard Branson try to create? I mean, I'm gonna say like, hey, are these guys gonna create something bigger and better in a month? I mean, these things take years to create. He's not gonna.
What's gonna happen is Richard Branson, like Virgin Space Shuttle, is gonna be the Spirit Airlines of space travel.
Okay.
Like it's gonna be like, if it's 50,000 on the Amazon shuttle, it's like 5 on the fucking Virgin one. Right. It's on a payment plan. Okay. Too. Like, you know what I mean? And then it's shit. A couple of them blow up in the first like 6 months, but they're like, space. So that's how it goes.
Fair shows. Space.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what Branson, and I'm being serious, I think what Branson needs to do is he needs to take his design and turn it into like quick travel across the globe. Yeah. Like, all right, we're gonna fly you up, and you're gonna get from like New York to Australia in like, I don't know, 45 minutes. Like, it needs to be. You're gonna go to space. You're gonna take your seatbelt off for a few minutes. You're gonna throw some fucking frozen tomatoes at each other in fucking 0G, and then you're gonna fucking come back down in Australia, and you'll be able to do all that in a day instead of wasting an entire day of travel. But I think you're dead on with what Musk is doing. Musk is like, no, this is the long game that I'm playing. Yeah. Bezos is playing fucking Chuck E. Cheese space travel, and I'm playing fucking Disney World, and we're going to make it happen. But as far as like privatized space flight goes, I mean, I know we're in such a jaded era, like because of CGI and all the technology that we're able to create. Like, almost if you can think it, you can do it now. We're not as amazed as we used to be. But think about how long it took entire nations to get off the planet. And now just some guys with big bank accounts can do it. Like, that's amazing. And they're all Americans. And that makes it even more amazing to me.
And that being said, but I mean, how many nations have, it's 7, 6, 7 have actually they have legitimate astronauts? Yeah. So you're still talking about a vast majority of the populace. Yeah. And now
and now 3 individual dudes.
Right.
Well, soon. I don't know. Musk hasn't gone up there yet, has he? So he will be. But
I can assume this is like, remember probably 15 years ago when Pakistan and India were like, we have nuclear weapons. So do we. I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
Yeah.
Wow, they do.
I love like,
there you go. This is kind of what this is now.
I play the game Civilization on the computer, and a lot of times, like, I watch the news in third world countries like that. They're like, hey guys, we got this uranium, but we don't know how to make rockets yet to tie this uranium to. So let's just hang out for 50 more years and see if we learn how to make rockets. We'll let you know. And then like 50 years later, they're like, hey, check it out. We made this shitty rocket. And it doesn't really go anywhere, but they strap some uranium to it. And they're like, we're nuclear power. Check it out. This is fucking great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It'll be, I just think, so we have synopsis is recapping. Branson is the Spirit airline of space travel.
100%.
And Murr, you think that he should zero this in onto halfway around the globe, travel much faster for much more, that's just faster commuting. Okay, fair enough. Elon Musk wants to have frat boy party extravaganza with like the Dan Bilzerians of the world. Like, I'm going to go into space. I'm going to party. Bezos. Bezos. Yeah. And Musk's like, motherfuckers, we're going to Mars.
Humanity will survive.
We're going,
Humanity will survive humanity killing this planet.
We're going, but we're anti, what's the Interstellar? We're interstellaring this bitch before we interstellar ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. For whatever reason, like, Musk was like, it's funny because like Branson, like 20 years ago, was like the sexy entrepreneur. Like, look what I'm doing, all this. He called it Virgin, to make it nice. Yeah. Like he was the big innovator. And now it's just like the old dog got into the new man's game just a little bit too late. And it's almost sad because it's an engineering marvel what he was able to perform, but it just pales in comparison to what these other two guys have done. But then Elon Musk came on the scene and was like, oh, he's like the Tony Stark. And then fucking Bezos does this super cool, sexy thing. And now it looks like Elon's like the long game guy, which will probably prove to be the best option. But, we're fucking squirrels on crack, and we're not impressed unless it happens today.
I was going to say that Bezos was in space 2 weeks ago. He was astronaut 001, labeled and branded by NASA. And then a week later, we're like, look at that bullshit. Yeah. What do you do? Went up 5 miles, went up 5 or 6 miles.
We're like, that's not even space.
Yeah.
You fucking dick.
God. He said he did a couple backflips.
And see, here's the thing is, like, obviously we hear a lot about Musk, like Mercer, he gets a lot of the publicity. Like, I didn't even know Bezos was trying. I feel like he just woke up like one day and was like, fuck Melinda. I'm building a spaceship. And fucking just did it in like a couple months and went up to space.
I've witnessed a couple situations where at a bar where promiscuous women, especially like bar top dancing, where one gets up and dances, all sexual like, and then another, not to be outdone by her in the face of a bunch of people that know this woman to be the superior sexual being, will then get up and start dancing more sexual. I kind of feel like this is what's happening.
Okay.
Like I'm the billionaire. I'm the quadrillionaire.
I have the amount of money that small countries have.
Right.
Yeah.
My scientists are smarter than your scientists, and I can create I can go up. You flew up with people. I can fly up with an 18-year-old and an 82-year-old while people control me from Earth.
We're going to space. I've paid all of these Asian scientists and mathematicians millions to build me rockets to get me to space.
I bought out the Kim in the Beijing phone book.
Yep.
All of them.
I placed an order with China. I was like, let me get 72 of your best Kims.
Yeah.
And they were like, here you go. Kim's a fucking Korean name, guys. We are such assholes. Like, it's so rude.
It's
wow. Well, you guys really stole from my playbook on that one. Well done.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
A little out of hand.
Sorry. Whoopsie. Middle classes, everyone. We love you. All right, Murr. We're moving along. Move along. Friday. Come on.
Let's get to it. Let's learn some stuff, fellas. Let's get to your official Fun Fact Friday. I've got 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday, and it's unofficially being brought to you by the Bullshit Medical Group on Facebook, known as the Shin Splints Recovery Group. It's as stupid as it sounds, and if you're as dumb as you look and you got some pain below the knee and above the ankle, head on over to Facebook and find the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Let's get to it. Your first fun fact for today. Did you know power naps improve your memory? In a study, participants who took naps after being asked to remember specific sets of words performed 5 times better than those who stayed awake and watched a DVD. Because your brain stores newly learned information while you sleep, taking an afternoon nap really can improve your learning skills.
Facts.
Yeah, that's where I attributed most of my good memory to, just sleeping a fair amount of the day and nights. Yeah, I'm tired. Power nap extraordinaire.
Yeah.
I mean, I could give you every World Series winner who they played in the games, probably since 1960. And I attributed that to naps.
That seems useful for at least fucking 5 rounds of bar trivia before you die. So that's that's a good use of your time.
Yeah.
Maybe this is why I'm so good at like American history and civics, is because in Mr. Arch's class, like within like 15 minutes, I was out until that bell rang.
That's right.
Just drooling up a desk.
Oh, what? Napping away. No, I mean there's a fair amount of research done with sleep. So I that's interesting to me that someone would like, all right, we're going to teach you this. We're going to probe you up. You're going to take a good 15 to 20-minute power nap. I know you want to nap, but you're going to stay awake. And then we're going to test you, and you need to say, what was it, 5 words in a row?
5 or 7. It's usually
like
7.
A pattern.
It's usually 7.
It just says a specific set of words performed 5 times better. You should have napped right in between that, because you took a lot of the words and just jumbled them together to be what you wanted them to be. But here's my question about this though, is like countries around the world, like a lot of your European countries, like the French, the Spanish are notorious for it, taking their siestas. And if naps are so good, why aren't they better on the world stage? Because Americans are just caffeinated and fucking moving all goddamn day. There's an 8 to 12 hour work day for pretty much everybody who fucking hits a punch clock. And we're the best. We don't take naps. We don't do it. And we've fucking dominated for the last like 250 years.
Yeah, you should probably reevaluate your history and our current standing in the world. Like, we're not the best at pretty much anything at all at this point.
We just talked about 3 individuals who put spacecraft outside the atmosphere.
Yeah, well, one of them was British. Let's pause.
Where'd he do it? I
don't know. Britain? Where did
Arizona, mother.
Oh, I think
Arizona,
because that's where you're allowed to shoot rockets into space. There's only like a handful.
Because Americans don't take naps, and they're good at zoning.
Yeah, I don't think this is going well for you.
I think it's going perfect. I
think it might be proving my point as we continue.
No, where did Richard Branson come to set up his intergalactic space company? He came to America.
Did he? Or did he just shoot it off here? I'm sure there was a lot of planning done in England.
Okay, you're basing your argument on did he?
Yeah. All we know is he launched it in Arizona, and like I said, there's like 3 places you can launch shit, and all right, maybe 5. 2 of them are in Russia, not super friendly to other people, and the other ones are American, where you can pretty much pay to do it.
Okay, the greatest city in the world, New York City, is known as what?
I don't fucking know. The Big Apple.
The city that never sleeps.
But they take a lot of fucking weed naps.
Have you met a lot of people from New York? Because and I don't know that, like, if you're like, give me 5 adjectives for people from New York, that intelligence ranks among the top 5. I don't know that that's a fact. So
it's a fair point.
Actually, you said memory.
Shit, I think they go hand in hand.
and with that,
stupid people had good memories.
Yeah.
And with that, you win the argument, Alan. Did you know in 1969, Bob Weiland stepped on a mortar mine in Vietnam, lost both legs, was declared dead, and got taken away in a body bag? In 1986, he finished the New York City Marathon in 98 hours. stopping often to talk to veterans and the homeless and fathers of disabled children along the way. He's also walked across America on his hands.
Jeez, it took him.
So he didn't do the marathon on like Pastorius Springs, like he did it on.
No, I don't. I mean, this was 1986, so he probably did it on like melted down Coke bottle 2 liters and tenacity.
I missed the year. Oh goddamn!
I think there's
what's 98 hours? That's like a week, couple days. Right?
What's that? 48 hours. I know that from the movie with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. Is 2 days.
Like it's over. It's definitely fucking
72 and a 96. So four days plus.
Yeah, there you go.
And I also like to think that do you ever see there's like pictures of athletes, all right, specifically Shaq and LeBron, like their feet. And I'm sure they're one of many who just have like beat up crazy. These are their motors. These are what they make them athletes, and their toes are fucking mangled. I'd like to see this guy's palms after a 98-hour trench session.
They're just stumps.
And the New York City Marathon, right down Fifth Ave. I should have taken
Wes, you are really good at jumbling information.
I need a nap in the middle of the show, guys.
He did the marathon like on legs with like prosthetics, but he walked across America.
Okay,
on his hands.
You failed to mention that.
No, I didn't. I read it specifically and accurately. And
even though it's prosthetic legs, it took him fucking 4.5 days or whatever.
Yeah,
that seems like a lot. I'm not saying that I would get done a marathon in under 4 days.
They probably gave him just like straight pegs, like stilts, like. Oh
yeah, we're going to hell.
No, and I don't want to like I don't want to come down on a veteran who lost his legs on a mortar round in Vietnam, but the race officials have to hang out until the last person crosses the finish line.
I mean, is there anybody still around? There's just one intern, and they're like, just wait for him.
I feel like they already cleared the finish line. It was already like the next work day. And they were just like keeping taxis and stuff.
What if the whole time like they were watching it and they were like, this stopwatch only goes to 100 hours. What do we do?
Yeah.
what if he doesn't make it?
A Y2K moment of the New York City Marathon.
It just goes down to 100 hours. They're not 99.99.
And I'm just thinking of the announcers too. Like, and here goes Bob Weiland. Yes, he lost both of his legs in Vietnam when he stepped on a mortar round, and he's competing this year's New York City Marathon. And here he goes, and he's stopping to chat with the crowd. All right, okay, Bob. And here he goes again. Oh, and he's talking. He's actually speaking with a homeless man. He's sitting down at the moment. Oh, I wonder what his time's gonna be. Shit.
I think I know what you do. You pull that finish line in. Just someone 98 hours. They're not gonna know what 26.2 miles is.
And so he definitely like shit and piss himself, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I mean, you have to at that. Like, there's no way you're holding it for 4 days.
It lubes up the prosthetics.
I don't even think you're moving fast enough to fucking get enough adrenaline to shut your digestive out. Like, you're moving so slow, you never get that runner's high.
I have seen footage of marathoners that defecate themselves.
Yeah.
Mid run, and those listen. I'm not comparing. I mean, it's been apples to pears to compare those guys, but yeah, they're so wound up, so tight. Their diet's so fucking restrictive.
Yeah.
But this guy, he was like, "Hey, everyone." I'm Bobcat Goldthwait. How you doing? All right, here to run a marathon. Declared dead though.
Yeah, put in a body bag.
Jesus.
Damn. So I gotta know the rest of that.
Yeah,
story.
That's a more impressive story than 98-hour fucking prosthetic.
Like, so did they just throw us heap them on top of a bunch of other dead bodies, and then he got to the morgue, and they were like, "Oh Jesus!"
And again,
Stump's alive.
Here we go. Here. I only have a piece of paper that I rip off my calendar.
No, but I mean, not to be disrespectful, but I also feel like this is the guy who wears the scrambled egg hat and just hangs out at McDonald's and tells you his fucking story while you're trying to get an Egg McMuffin on your way to work. Like, did you know I blew off both my legs in Nam? They put me in a body bag. And then I competed in the New York City Marathon. Ran it in 98 hours. I stopped to talk to the homeless and veterans along the way. Yeah. Like, all right, Bob, I'll see you tomorrow, where you'll be standing right there on your two fucking wooden legs.
Where's a local sports team T-shirt tucked into jean shorts? Yeah, I know that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Bob Weiland, American hero.
Did you know some species of ants are suicide bombers? Let's restart. Did you know some species of ants are suicide bombers? There are carpenter ants that can make themselves explode as an ultimate defense. When they run out of options, they rupture their abdomens and spew corrosive secretions in every direction. Sounds like me around midnight.
Can you imagine? I think about like giving a human that trait, and I get it, that would be just like, all right, everyone stand back. It's time. I gotta sacrifice myself. Watch out.
I think that would be a nightmare because could you imagine like really anxious people? Like, just like in like everyday situations, but it's the thing that triggers them and they just fucking explode.
Right. That's a good thing ants don't suffer from anxiety or ADD.
Like what if if like you went out to dinner and like, you know, they put onions on your shit, but you just couldn't tell the weight. And you just got so fucking anxious that you just blew up right in the fucking like that's the kind of shit that a human would do with that power.
And your date's like, God, this is the third one this week.
God damn it.
Yeah, no, that's it. So no, that I did not know that, and that's wild. You said what type of ant? Killer or
carpenter? Yes, carpenter. Well, obviously killer. Carpenter ants.
Okay, man, they dive bomb in and they let their stomach explode and they can become napalm.
Ants are fascinating, man. They're intelligent creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like trillions of them though. Did you know? Here's another quick. Did you know? The amount of ants that exist on Earth equals the weight of all humans on Earth.
Yeah. I'd heard that before.
Which is why stomping on anthills when you're a kid, don't feel guilty about it. I never did that.
Yeah. Make sure they know their place.
Yeah. Beat those fuckers into death, into oblivion.
It's just propping up local ecosystems. Them and bees.
Look, I got bit by. I was building an ant farm when I was in elementary school and got bit by a regular Joe Schmo run of the muck ant, and that fucker almost made me cry.
Yeah, they're mean.
That was.
You gotta see them fucking Central American fuckers that are the size of like fucking cockroaches, but they're ants.
Yeah,
it's not good.
No, it's
dangerous stuff. It's dangerous stuff.
Don't go to the Amazon.
Yeah.
Did you know? If you have trouble telling right from left, you're not alone. Many people struggle with left-right mistakes, which often happens because of, quote, the distraction effect. Even small distractions like background noise can impair your ability to make right-left judgments, which is why mistakes are usually made in busy environments.
Facts.
Right here. That's how you do it.
Dude, I had trouble with my left and right until like high school. Like no shit. Like if you called out left, I'd stutter step before I figured it out.
Interesting.
Most people, I just think of like the leg I kick with or shoot with as an athlete, you know.
Yeah.
So my left is my right. Yeah.
Right arm.
But people, I don't know. People also do the subtraction trick, like with the digits. So I don't doubt that there's left right here. That's the L. Yeah. This is my left.
Oh, I just got what you're doing with your hands there. I did figure it out by like. I remember saying to myself, hey, stupid, you're right-handed. So if they say right, go to your dominant side. Like, that's how I figured it out. And then I was cool ever since.
I like how you said, like, you referred to yourself as, hey, stupid.
Yeah, because I felt dumb. Every time somebody said, then you take a left, and I can remember, like if I was asking for directions or something, and they're like, okay, you go down the hall, you take a left, go down, then you take a right, and I'm just like, I'm already lost. Like I can't have them re-explain it.
You go down, take a left. It's like explaining to John Gilchrist where you guys were.
Yes, at University of Maryland. You love that story.
I just like that he say. Do you remember John Gilchrist, the point guard from Maryland? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Murr had a class with him, and then the guy was like, he got paired in a group setting. Was it a group project?
I was in a theater class with John Gilchrist, and we had to perform a play together. Yeah. Which meant he physically... So he couldn't cheat this one. He actually had to be there. And after explaining to him, okay, all we got to do is meet here tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Okay, his question was, okay, where's this? And I was like, right here, where you're standing right now. Just come back, like literally right where you're standing right now. Okay. But where's this? And then I said the building. He's like, okay, but where's this? Eventually, I just remember just kind of like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Grab whoever brought you here and hold their shoulder.
Get you back.
Didn't you say, like, recreate the steps that took you here about 40 minutes ago and do that again in 1 week's time?
Yeah, that's a great story about how they don't do shit.
Where's this?
How do I get back here? How did I get here today?
When you walk out of the building, walk backwards. And remember that.
Like when you leave here and go back to your dorm, just remember the way that you go and come back.
Right. Leave some breadcrumbs.
Yeah, leave stuff.
I don't know what to tell you.
just leave memorabilia.
That had Murr really reassured that this was going to be a good group project. He was like, "Wow, can't wait for this one."
Fucking solid C.
Here we go.
Well, actually, fun fact about that is I didn't memorize any of my lines for the play, but my character had to hold a newspaper. So I wrote all of my lines on the inside of a blank piece of paper and taped it to the inside of the newspaper, to which my teacher saw and was like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh, it's my lines." It's like, "Why are they there?" I don't know. Holding a newspaper makes me look like I'm reading a newspaper.
Yes, I need them.
I thought it got me... I tried to bullshit. I was like, I thought it got me more in character, and I don't forget my lines. He's like, "No, that's not how this works." So he failed me for it.
Failed.
So John Gilchrist wins again. He found the building, and we didn't give him any lines because we knew if he didn't know how to make it to the building, he sure shit wasn't going to remember words.
Did you see what he did in the ACC tournament? That's theater.
I was like, he definitely wasn't winning by being a Division I college basketball player. No chance.
And finally, did you know scientists finally found a use for leftover packing peanuts? Are you ready? Rechargeable batteries. By heating up the peanuts to 900 degrees Celsius, they were able to convert them into thin carbon sheets that they used to create anodes, the part of the battery that stores ions. The peanut batteries ended up charging faster than existing batteries do.
Damn.
Fucking smart.
Bezoses of the world.
Yeah.
When was this? Did they give you a date?
It's an Elon Musk, I think.
No dates on that. But another fun fact about packing peanuts is they are actually edible because humans are stupid and they will put anything in their mouth.
Damn. That was good.
That makes sense.
Gobble.
I mean, they're so bite-sized.
Right.
So, it makes perfect sense.
They're made of potato starch so that if you do consume them, you will not die.
Yeah, like if that should not be surprising with Tide Pods and other things that have been ingested by the human population. Yeah.
They're, if you can put it in your mouth, more or less people are going to eat it.
Yeah.
Or ingest it.
That's right.
I mean, it's kids, adults, it doesn't matter. The kids will eat anything. Adults will eat anything.
They should have had a show called Kids Eat the Darndest Things, and it should have just been kids eating fucking, like, Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Fucking, like, like a small Lego piece.
Yeah.
And one just hucks one down. Just like, oh, God. We're going to have to pay a fucking surgeon for that one. Like, that would be a good show.
Is that Fun Fact Friday?
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Hey, before we close out the show, I did want to bring up a piece of information that I heard. This is really good. I'm a big wrestling fan. You guys were as well. Captain Lou Albano, famous. I knew him as a manager, but apparently, like most managers, if you're not Jimmy Hart or Jim Cornette, you were a wrestler, and then you transitioned into the managing state. So while they're out on the road, according to Larry Zbyszko, WWE Hall of Famer, longtime NWA and AWA great. Do you guys know how he got popular?
No.
He turned heel on Bruno Sammartino. They were they were compadres, and then Zbyszko challenged him to a friendly match. Like, I think I can beat you, and was losing, and then beat the snot out of him with a chair. Broke a wooden chair over his face. This is back in the day, when people still thought it was real, and people were like, no, you're beating Bruno up. You can't do that. Yeah. So, according to Larry Zbyszko, and then he's with some guys like Tony Aldermeyer, who I don't know. Captain Lou were at a nice restaurant in New York City back in the day when some assholes began to cause a scene and make a commotion about how wrestling was fake. Hey, dickheads, wrestling's fake. All right. Yeah. We get it. So Lou went over and pissed on him, and he heard enough. Straight up walked over, unzipped his dick, pulled it out, let it rip on these people. Says, "Hey, was that fake?" That's a quote according to Zbyszko.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that's
No, that sounds good. I like that.
It also makes me these guys felt like they were above the law.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They are popular. You're at a restaurant, people recognize you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go up and I'm going to piss on this guy. I'm going to take a whiz on him.
I also think you don't do it unless you're like, there's extenuating circumstances. You do it if you're like Andre the Giant. Doesn't really matter where the fuck you are.
Right.
Like, so like he knows where he is. He knows what's about to go down. Like he's like, yeah, I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you don't fuck with those old timey fucking wrestler guys, dude. Like, if they had names like Captain Lou Albano, like that was just that was it. That's as far as we got in the creativity ladder. Then yeah, you didn't want to fucking fuck with that guy, like at all, dude.
But my take on that is kind of like, not that these guys thought that they were above the law. Was it that, or was it in that era that people didn't put up with disrespect, no matter where it was coming from? So if you were at a bar and someone's obviously being a dick, and then you walk up and you piss on him, everybody else in the bar is like, nah, that guy was being an asshole. He deserved to have a fucking golden shower in the middle of happy hour.
Wrestling aside. Yeah. Just like this guy disrespectful. Yeah.
I guess there's a bit of that, but the pissing on a motherfucker seems excessive. Like, look, I'm all for fucking. Oh, you've got words to say to me? Okay, let's have a discussion or throw hands. Your choice.
But you say that though, Alan. But think about 100 years earlier. If you disrespected somebody, they would just pull a gun out and shoot you in the bar. The music would stop for 3 seconds, and then everybody would be like, "Yeah, you deserved it."
Well, I don't know. I think that far back. I think you're missing a crucial step. They still asked. There was like, "Let's go outside and walk 10 paces and shoot at each other." There was a gentleman's agreement.
That was 200 years ago.
That's right.
We've evolved into urinating.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah,
100 years ago was in 1921. Okay,
that was before that.
Fair enough.
No, they weren't still doing duels in 1921.
No, I know. No,
they were just straight up shooting motherfuckers.
No, I was just going off of what he said. So 100 years ago, we just shoot motherfuckers.
150.
Hey, you guys like to go with the fucking rule books on these things. I'm saying, like, in 1865, if you were in a dirty, dusty Western bar and you pissed somebody off, they would just shoot you in the chest. The whole crowd would maybe stop sipping their beer for a second and then continue drinking their beer. I think 100 years before that.
I think an outlaw would have, but like an upstanding badass would not have. He would have challenged you to a duel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like an outlaw, scruffy fucking guy in a bar. Yeah, he kills you. Just no questions asked.
Sure.
But I think the larger part of the population is upstanding people.
And the 1980s, the gruffy, hole in the wall bar, you get a leak taken on you.
Right. Especially if
That's
you're
the evolution.
questioning the legitimacy of something like pro wrestling at that time.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's that I get. Like I said, you don't fuck with guys whose names are Captain, their regular name.
It's
Captain government name.
Yeah.
That's it.
You didn't fuck with Captain Lou Albano, and you didn't fuck with the captain in Tanao.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I'll tell you that.
Like anybody whose name, it was just their name, and then it was like the Marvelous. Or like,
Mister.
Yeah, those kinds of guys. Like, that's it.
Right. There's also, I don't know who told the story, but I remember it was Captain Lou Albano, Ken Patera, and Andre the Giant. And it was a drinking challenge, a beer drinking challenge, and they knew they were all going to lose. Yeah. But all they were doing was trying to razz Andre up to see what the number would be. So, and apparently at this time, Captain Lou Albano, super alcoholic, didn't like drinking beer. He just drank a 12-pack of beer, or 12 beers rather, just to get the thing going.
Yeah,
I like the fact that he's like, and then he switched to vodka tonics. So he drank.
Solid plan.
So my man drank a 12-pack of beer
and switched to vodka tonics.
So he's like, all right, I'm done. I can't drink any more beer. Like, Jesus Christ. Common dude is fucking face down.
Yeah.
And then he drank something like 24 vodka tonics while everyone was drinking beer. Ken Patera drank 70 beers, and then it's just like I'm pissing every 5 seconds and I'm about to fall over.
Yeah.
And apparently Andre got up to like 112, 113. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I saw a very interesting thing the other day about Andre the Giant, like, not liking the Macho Man.
Because he put on too much baby oil.
Yeah, he did it because he did. So Macho Man put on too much baby oil because Andre didn't like him. So Andre would kick the shit out of him in the ring, actually fucking kick the shit out of him. And so Macho Man was like, "Oh, I'm gonna baby oil myself. That way his big ass can't grab me."
Right.
And so like before matches, once Andre caught on, he would yell at him and be like, "No baby oil!" Like fucking like yell at him and fucking tell him to get out of the locker room and shit. Like apparently my man had a temper for fucking like egomaniacs basically.
He'd like get ready to slap him and say, "This one's for you, Elizabeth."
Yeah. And really whooped his ass too. Because the documentary I was watching was like he did like sit on his face when he was like sitting down in the corner, and just like literally just all his weight just sitting on his face.
God.
Yeah.
God.
Well,
and what do you do?
What do you
do? Do you stop Andre the Giant? No.
Hey, brother, you just get your ass off my face, man. Yeah.
And apparently he was kind of like shy with him too. Like macho, like arrogant Macho Man was kind of shy with Andre the Giant because Andre didn't like him and he knew it.
Well, I mean, can you blame the dude?
No.
Yeah, everyone's got to be. Chris, Big John Studd was shy around him.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what happens.
Well, that's because he whooped his ass, too. He was like, I'm the biggest dude.
You're big? I'm big.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's it, folks. That's what we have for tonight. Alan, where can you find us?
You can find us on all of your favorite social media platforms. We're on Facebook as The Middle Classholes. The whole thing. Our government name is on Facebook, for those of you out there. We're on Instagram and Twitter. That's at MDL Classholes, of course. And then, of course, on your favorite streaming platforms, we are The Middle Classholes on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And, of course, for all you old-timers out there, you want to send us some emails, you can send us some emails to tickleourtummies@gmail.com. That's right, tickleourtummies, plural, @gmail.com.
I haven't checked the email yet.
You should check it out.
Yeah. Do we have something?
I don't know. I have no idea.
If a Gmail creator.
I don't have the slightest clue. It's just like, thanks for creating a Gmail.
I thought maybe we get a LinkedIn. Hey, guys.
They were like, this is an inappropriate email, isn't it?
Right.
That's what they said. That's probably the first email.
We got one. It says, Google Community Team. Finish setting up Google profile.
Oh, yeah. I definitely thought it was either going to actually be one or he was going with that. And the way he started it, I wasn't quite sure.
Primo Sal.
Yeah, it was so good.
Shit. All right, folks. Well, I've about had enough. All right.
Yeah.
Good luck on your move. We'll see
Thanks,
you in your studio. Yeah. And hey, if you want a backdrop, let me know. I'll pitch in.
Yeah.
And we'll get you.
Yeah, give me a backdrop.
We'll get you lasers. We'll get you the Grand
give me
Canyon.
One of those like Spencer's fucking like bead curtains with Jesus on it. Yeah, I'll take one of those. Like just go to your local head shop and find me like the Legends Bob Marley fucking album cover in bead form.
I could see like the minute you're about to make like a very, very good point about something, Waffles comes fucking barging in.
Yeah, it's carpeted though, so in those rooms, so no ridiculous rhino sounds, which is good.
Nice.
It's a plus.
Nice. All right, folks. Well, you heard it here. Have a good one. Happy middle of July.
July teens.